What is happening, everybody? Trey here, and today at Reactions to the Classics, we got another top 10 list coming your way today from my longtime friend and patron of the channel, Richard. Richard, I always enjoy the list that you curate, and today we're going to be looking at the top 10 alternative songs of the Noughties. And if you're not familiar with the Noughties, that's going to be the decade from 2000 to 2009. So I'm looking forward to this. There's some familiar names of bands on here on Richard's list, but I don't believe I know one song on this list, which is kind of my favorite list to do, going in unfamiliar and just seeing what we got. And I think that's just going to tee us off, man. Let's get this underway. As always, I'm going to have the lyrics pulled up for all of these tracks, and hopefully we'll be able to put it up in full on YouTube. But with so many different bands, you know, that sometimes runs into an issue, but no worries. There's going to be a link to Vimeo down below where you can see the full video with the music included, always free of charge. Shout out to the patrons, man, who help support the channel. But without further ado, man, let's get started off at number 10 with Morrissey riding with here with First of the Gang to Die. Richard noted from the 2004 album You Are the Quarry, went to 6 in the UK. I'm only familiar with one Morrissey solo album. You know, I'm very familiar with the Smiths catalog, of course, but I liked his record Viva Arsenal in the 90s, I believe early 92-ish, and really, really strong record there. But besides that, I haven't dove into any of his other solo work, so looking forward to this. This was the second single written by Morrissey along with Alan White. And then in October 2011, NME actually placed it at number 147 on his list of 150 best tracks of the past 15 years. So a lot of acclaim already going into this one. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks again to Richard, and let's kick this off. First of the Gang to Die, kicking this list off on a very strong note in my estimation right here. And this was a total Morrissey tune through and through here, from you know, the instrumentation, which you know, kind of had that poppy, you know, rock blend in there. I thought Alan White on guitar was fantastic, especially in that intro before we got to the, you know, proper verses. And I love so many Morrissey-esque lines in here where he's able to kind of compare the beautiful with the morose, and I think that's most seen in verse 2. You have never been in love until you've seen the sunlight thrown over smashed human bone. I mean, that's a Morrissey lyric through and through right there. And you know, interesting too, obviously talking about, you know, First of the Gang to Die, we are introduced to this character named Hector, who, as the title suggests, was the first of the gang to die. And we kind of builds up his backstory as the song goes through, and as you're starting to get maybe a little bit of a sympathy from him. He notes in verse 3, he stole from the rich and the poor, and not very rich and the very poor, and he stole all hearts away. He stole all hearts away. You know, kind of reminds you of that Al Capone-like character who, you know, was still, even with all the bad stuff he did, like, beloved by certain sects of people in Chicago back in the day. And you know, kind of looking to that back, you know, 20s 30s gangster persona, and almost updating it here, and you know, putting it in the Los Angeles was an interesting decision, I think, on Morrissey's part as well. Very catchy, melodic, and man, I really enjoy Morrissey's songwriting, man, and this song was no different. So great way to start this list off here, Richard, as we go now to number 9 on the list, going to a group I don't think I've heard at all. We have Guster, and it's going to be the track One Man Wrecking Machine. Richard notes it's from their '06 record Ganging Up on the Sun. Guster's frontman Ryan Miller said it is about how cool it would be to have the confidence of your 30-year-old self back when you were in high school. Oh, I like that idea, man. So let's see what we got here. All right, One Man Wrecking Machine. You already know the heart's got to go on that one, ladies and gentlemen. Really enjoyed that one. Both musically, we had the intro. I see there's a theremin on this, and maybe that was that, a little electronic sounds. And then going into the proper track itself, man, instrumentation was strong throughout. But I think here the real highlight was the lyricism here, and that whole concept is just something that you can get behind, man. Where he knows, I built a time machine Machine. I'm going to see the Homecoming Queen. Take her to the Christmas dance. Maybe now I'll get in her pants. So again, like what we said at the start, having that confidence of your older adult, in this case, 30-year-old self, going back to high school whenever, you're obviously still finding out who you are, finding your way, dealing with insecurities. That is an interesting thought to ponder, how you would have maybe done things differently. He reminisces on the nostalgia of passing around the skinny joints, being with the train tracks with his buddies, and he notes in the chorus, I want to relive all my adolescent dreams, which comes back at the very end where he kind of switches gears on that. And that's where we get the title, I am a one-man wrecking machine. Enjoy that metaphor right there. Just kind of puts that idea and picture right into your head, man. And then he notes here in the present tense, nothing is making sense. So now we kind of figure out why he's maybe reminiscing on his teenage years. And then he ends up noting, I tried to pull it all apart and put it back together. No point in living in my adolescent dream. So he thought this out. It's good for a moment to think, it would be great, but at the end of the day, we can't go back, man. We can't change it. We just got to accept what has happened, learn from it, and try to improve day by day, man. So all in all, really strong tune right here, Richard. Your list is starting out on fire, man. Your list is starting out on fire, and we're going to a little Oasis action now, ladies and gentlemen. Not familiar with any of their work in the 2000s, really. So Stop Crying Your Heart Out, coming in at number 8 from their 5th record, Heathen Chemistry, went to 2 in the UK in 2002. Written by Noel and has Liam on lead vocals. Its melodic structure bears strong resemblance, it's said, to Slide Away from their debut record. And then also its hook is reminiscent of the chorus of one of my favorite Oasis tunes, Don't Look Back in Anger. So let's kick this one off. All right, Stop Crying Your Heart Out. And man, as soon as it started going, I was like, I think I remember this song, and I was looking in at the bottom of a Genius here on the lyrics. It said it was used at the end of the Butterfly Effect, which I watched kind of recently here. So and I remember after I watched it, I was like, what is this song, man? And I added it to my Spotify, but I think I took it from their singles collection. That's why it's not already hearted on here. But man, you get the best of Oasis right here. The melody that is again very very captivating. The great vocals here, where you have Liam, and then I really enjoyed how they used almost that echoey backing effect as well in that first verse. And then we go into the pretty chorus, man, because all the stars are fading away. Try not to worry, you'll see them someday. Interesting, coming right after the Guster track, how that dealt with some similar themes of kind of looking back, but recognizing that you just got to push forward with your life. You also have some of that content in this song. So obviously, not planned like that, I don't think, by Richard, but it's cool to see these connections in these tunes. And interesting again to note, because all the stars are fading away, changes in the outro to We're All of Us Stars Were Fading Away. Just try to not to worry, you'll see us someday. Just take what you need and be on your way, and stop crying your heart out. So I just like I like the realism in this track, while also kind of just there's that hint of optimism, like kind of get up, pick yourself up, it's gonna be all right, and keep on keeping on, essentially, man. So a good Oasis track right there. And we're going to go to number 7 on the list now. We got the song Australia by the Shins, which have been featured in a couple of different videos on the channel and various lists and song battles. Richard notes this is their second single from their 3rd record, Wincing the Night Away, released in 2007. If you don't know, they're an American indie rock band. Lyrics of the song have a lot of different interpretations, but it doesn't reference Australia at all, ironically enough. So let's cue this one up. All right, the Shins bringing a bit of an upbeat, easy on the ears tune. I think the rhythm section was the strongest of any song we've had up to this point. Love the bass line in there, some great drum fills as well, especially towards the end. Had a guitar solo in the middle. I've got to say, man, in under 4 minutes, the Shins packed a lot of content in here, a lot of stuff to go over. I was kind of just getting the idea, in contrast with how kind of light and almost uplifting at points the music was. The lyrics, man, dealing kind of with the mundane nature of life, the trials that everybody goes through in a lot of different areas, man. He notes, well, look, here until then, they gonna buy your life's time. So keep your wick in the air and your feet in the feathers till the day. We come in doing cartwheels. We all crawl out by ourselves, and your shape on a dance floor will have me thinking such filth to gouge at my eyes. So this already introduced to going through kind of the mundane nature of just the work environment where it feels like they're gonna buy your life's time away, and going out trying to find love, and with that eye line in there. He continues to go on, kind of builds that imagery and whatnot, kind of being held down by the man, if you will, and again, kind of notes to find a handsome young mate for you to love. Continues that love theme throughout here, and my favorite line was probably, "You'll be damned to pining through the window panes. You trade your life for any ordinary Joe." It seems like whenever we go through and we don't like what our life situation is, we think, oh man, I'd like to be him or her or this or that, and just want to switch places and whatnot, which you never know what they're going through, though. On the other side, there's always a flip side to that, man. So all in all, a big a song I might need a couple more listens to really kind of dissect. I mean, we get a name drop of Himmler in there at the very end as well, and kind of some death imagery. So all that to say, though, I did enjoy the track, and I need to get on listening to some more Shins, and we're gonna go now to number 6 on this list already. Ben Folds coming in with the track Still Fighting It. Richard said it's from the '01 record Rocket the Suburbs. It's the second single, a bittersweet ode to the pain of adolescence, dedicated to his son Louis. He would later write an accompanying song for his daughter Gracie on the 2005 record Songs for Silverman, and he often performs the two songs together live. Big fan of the Ben Folds 5 group proper, and I'll be curious to see what Ben Folds does with this. Ben Folds, bringing it, man. Still fighting it. What a track, man. Just twofold. The lyrics were fantastic, man. Obviously quite heartfelt, but relatable at the same time, which is impressive. I'm always impressed when songwriters are able to take something that is from their own lives, and yet it's able to speak to so many others who listen to it. And musically, man, very impressive and powerful, especially that chorus. Obviously with Ben Folds, you're expecting that piano, but then that guitar really came thundering in as well in that chorus to just give it that bit of oomph and power, to kind of contrast with Folds' soft and sweet delivery through a lot of this track on the vocals here. Starting off, setting the stage, talking to his son, just with simple things. You want a Coke and fries? It's okay, you don't have to pay. I've got all the change. He's here to obviously provide for his son, and then we get hit with that first bittersweet chorus, man. Everybody knows it hurts to grow up, and everybody does. It's so weird to be back here. Let me tell you what, the years go on and we're still fighting that game of life, if you will. And then the lines that I think hit the hardest, and you're so much like me, I'm sorry. Ooh, so he's already seen maybe some of those traits in himself and his son, and maybe those positives, but also some of those negative traits as well. And then he notes that maybe 20 years from now we'll be able to sit down and talk about it, and I'll be able to tell you like how my life changed when you entered it. I just thought a lot of sweet and lines that just really hit the heart. And then he notes like, one day you will fly away from me, and he's kind of in that like, I don't want you to not need me, I think, anymore, but I obviously want to see you succeed and fly away, essentially, man. Wow, powerful song. Yet another one I'm going to have to give the heart to, man. Really enjoying this list so far, as we're now going to enter the second half of it. Going to number 5, Stereophonics with Handbags and Glad Rags here. Richard notes it is a cover of the 60s hit previously recorded by Rod Stewart and Chris Farlow. It was written by Mike Diabo of Manfred Mann. Stereophonics originally recorded it as a demo, but then the record label heard it and was like, you know what? This would work well as a single. If you don't know, Stereophonics are a Welsh rock band. It went to 3 in Ireland, and this song is also certified gold in the UK. So let's get after it. Right, Handbags and Glad Rags coming in right here, man. Quite enjoyed this one as well. I thought the musical arrangement with that peaceful piano mixed with the organ whenever we ramped up to the yet again the quite powerful chorus was impressive. I thought the vocal delivery here definitely had that Rod Stewart influence, which makes sense since Rod obviously was on this track, so back in the day, of course. And so as we go into the lyrics, kind of what I'm getting from it, he's addressing this this young girl who he calls, taking it that is the granddad who's kind of at the heart of this song, addressing her in all this. He notes, ever seen a blind man cross the road trying to make the other side? Ever seen a young girl growing old trying to make herself a bride? And then we get that first of the chorus. So what becomes of you, my love, when they have finally stripped you of the handbags and the glad rags that your poor old granddad had to sweat to buy you, baby? And I take that to mean, he worked hard to give her this stuff, and that's going to be stripped away either through her own doing, or it's stripped away in the maybe trends of the time, and it's time to go on to another handbag or whatever the case may be. I could be way off here, but this is my authentic first time thoughts on this. He notes, well, you are still a young girl and you bought everything in style, so once you think you're in, you're out, because you don't mean a single thing without. And then we get the handbags and glad rags. And I thought that was the strength of the song. We introed that chorus with a different angle each time here. All that to say, man, yet again, another enjoyable track. I definitely got to go back and listen to the original version as well. As we go now to number 4 on the list, a group I am going totally blind on, the Editors, with the song Smokers Outside the Hospital Doors, which was the lead single from their second record. An End Has a Start, which went to 7 in the UK. So let's get after it. Wow, Smokers Outside the Hospital Room, maybe the bleakest song here lyrically up to this point, even though it had quite a soaring chorus there, and I thought the ending was fantastic as well, where you got almost the gospel choir-esque vocals there, and really just just like that burst of sound there when the guitar going in. I thought that was impressive, but lyrically here, there's a lot to unpack as well. Just at the start, pull the blindfold down. I thought the imagery just in this whole track was fantastic. Could really put you right where the Editors wanted you to feel, I think. Pull the blindfold down so your eyes can't see. Now run as fast as you can through this field of trees. Say goodbye to everyone you have ever known. You are not going to see them ever again. And then we go in there to the saddest thing that I'd ever seen were smokers outside the hospital doors. This guy obviously has either a terminal illness or he knows he's going to die soon in this hospital, unfortunately. And I think the weight of that is just hitting him in an existential punch right here as we get the chorus. Someone turn me around. Can I start this again? Can I start this game of life back over? I want to keep on going, man. I thought the line, how can we wear our smiles with our mouths wide shut? Because you stopped us from singing. And later on, he notes, we've all been changed from what we were. Our broken hearts left smashed on the floor. I can't believe you if I can't hear you. I can't believe you if I can't hear you. That's where I'm wondering, there's some religion aspect. Is he talking to God in some of these lines? That on your deathbed, you start thinking, is there an afterlife, this or that? So I thought all those subjects were mingled quite quite well together, and the musicianship was a top notch as well. Strong song, man, especially for my first introduction to the group. And I'm liking this list, man. Not a lot of lightweight songs in here lyrically as well, man. I love deep diving into the lyrics of tracks, especially. So we are in the top 3, ladies and gentlemen, and we're gonna go to a track called JCB from a group called Nizlopi or Nizlopi. Richard said the JCB song is by the duo Nizlopi. It's a song about the singer Luke Concannon getting picked up from school by his dad in a JCB digger, also known as a backhoe loader. Concannon had dyslexia and was bullied as a kid. He sees his dad as a sort of superhero-like figure in his big digger. The song didn't break the top 100 on release, but after a lot of plays on the BBC radio show hosted by Dermot O'Leary's, it reached number 1. Also, you had Irish singer Christy Hennessy gave permission to sing his song Don't Forget Your Shovel if you want to go to work in the lyrics, a song Luke and his dad would often sing together. And towards the end of 2005, bookmakers began a push for the song to enter the bid for the UK Christmas number 1 single of 2005, which it did. So a lot of acclaim for this track. Yet again, not familiar with this duo here, but seems like yet again we have a very interesting story and subject matter here. So let's get going. All right, JCB here. Man, Nizlopi put in the work right here, man. What a sweet and touching song right here. Yet again, very heartfelt. Reminds me in some ways of Still Fighting It by Ben Folds, where that was kind of coming from the father perspective, just sharing his love of his son. Here we kind of get those perspectives switched from Luke's perspective about his dad, man. And I thought the whole JCB kind of revving up at the start and end was a great way to book in the track as well. Yet again, easy to follow along story. I thought that it was really touching just how much love he had for his dad in this, noting how he probably had such a long day and people getting mad stuck behind the JCB, man, having to pass him and whatnot. But Luke didn't care, man, and he just thought so much of his dad. Obviously compares him to Bruce Lee here, which I thought was also pretty cool. And noting I want to transform into Tyrannosaurus Rex and eat up all the bullies and the teachers and their pets. And I tell all my mates my dad's B.A. Baracus only with the JCB and Bruce Lee's nunchucks. And then we go into the bridge where we have Luke just going a cappella. Said, I'm Luke, I'm 5, and my dad's Bruce Lee. Drives me around in his JCB. I mean, a very, very catchy vocal melody there. And then we finish the song with a bit of a banjo. And I thought that was really well done as well. And man, you could just feel the love here, feel the positivity coming through this track, man. Quite enjoyed this one as well. Yet again, a group I wasn't familiar with, and man, Richard's been hitting the high notes on this list. I'll tell you what. And now, top 2, ladies and gentlemen, going to a very famous alternative rock band of the noughties. We have Muse coming in here with their song Starlight from their 4th album Black Holes and Revelations, went to 13 in the UK. This was the 2nd single. The lyric, Our Hopes and Expectations, Black Holes and Revelations, gives the album its title. It also went to 2 in US on the modern rock charts, and that was their 4th highest charting single to date on any major chart in the US. It was written by Matt Bellamy, and he commented that he first wrote the song on a boat in bad weather. The bassist commented that it is a love song about missing someone, friends, family, someone you love. It was heard as well in a famous show that was short-lived back in the day here in the States called Jericho. It was also used by the NFL and the 2009 season as well, and also is in the film The Tourist, and also in the trailer for Crazy Stupid Love. So I'm wanting to say I know this track, probably from one of those things. So let's get into it, man, as we go to number 2. All right, Muse bringing Starlight. As soon as it started, man, it threw me back. I'm pretty sure I had this on my iPod back in my middle school years, because as soon as it started, man, with that really fuzzy guitar work, in contrasted with the pretty piano, man, it took me back, man. A really great track that switches gears a lot in its 4 minutes, man. We get really rocking, and once that second chorus comes in, almost a synthesizer in there as well, before then kind of going back to that piano melody. Matt has a lot of range kind of in this song as well, but he keeps it in that upper register, man, and really just pretty self-explanatory lyrically, explaining that Starlight, I will be chasing a starlight until the end of my life. I don't know if it's worth it anymore. My favorite line is the one here where he says, "Far away, the ship has taken me far away from the memories of the people who care if I live or die." And that's how it is often, when you're growing up or getting a new job or going out on your own. You kind of, a lot of times you're going away from your family, or if you're moving, your friends, where you're have your roots at, from the people who care if you live or die, and you just got to go out on your own and meet new people. It's a scary proposition a lot of times, and then you have that sweetness of "Hold You in My Arms." I just want to hold you in my arms. Fantastic tune. I'm glad Richard put this on this list, man, so it can take me down memory lane and be adding this back to my playlist all these years later. And now, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, it is time for the number one spot on the top 10 alternative songs of the Noughties, according to Richard. And now we're going with the group called Keane here, with the track "Somewhere Only We Know" from their debut album Hopes and Fears, which went to number 3 in the UK. And they're an English alternative rock band, and this features a lot of piano here. And meaning of the song has been debated among fans of the group. There is speculation that it refers to Mansur's Shaw, a place in battle where Keane members used to visit in their childhood days, and the site of the Battle of Hastings, fought in October of 1066. Richard Hughes, their drummer, offered the following explanation, quote, "We've been asked whether Somewhere Only We Know is about a specific place, and Tim has been saying that for him, or us as individuals, it might be about a geographical space or a feeling. It can mean something individual to each person, and they can interpret it to a memory of theirs. It's perhaps more of a theme rather than a specific message. Feelings that may be universal without necessarily being totally specific to us or a place or a time." What a well thought out description right there, man. I kind of like that idea of just leaving the listeners to kind of interpret it and put their own personal ideas and memories to it. So we're gonna cue this one up, and afterwards I'll give my favorite tracks on this fantastic list. Keane bringing it, man. Number one, "Somewhere Only We Know." Obviously, the piano just hits right away. Gorgeous melody, and drives the entire song right there. And those lyrics that are abstract enough for you to kind of relate to your own experience, and yet still kind of concise enough to maybe point you in the right direction, if you will. Yet again, getting that imagery of just the land here. I felt the earth beneath my feet, sat by the river, and it made me complete. Getting a very serene like atmosphere here, somewhere that is simple, and somewhere that is a place of refuge, I think, with this other person. He notes, "I'm getting old and I need something to rely on, so tell me when you're gonna let me in. I need somewhere to begin." He notes, "Is this the place we used to love? Is this the place that I've been dreaming of?" Almost like an oasis that he wants to escape to, because he knows, man, life's moving on. Time might be going short for him, and he wants to, I think, make the most of it. And yet again, I like that songwriting technique too, where you can think of your own little oasis, if you will, own little time and place where you're happy and at your best with the people that love you most. Good, solid vocal performance as well here, man, and I dug that. For not knowing any Keane songs, yet again, another fantastic selection here, Richard, to introduce me to the group. Speaking of, it is time now for my favorites on this list. Taking it from the top, I liked a lot of songs on this list here. Richard, you did it again, man. I'll start with the Guster One Man Wrecking Machine. They're going to have to dive into more of their work. I just love that idea there of kind of going back to your younger self with the knowledge you have now. Stop crying your heart out. Of course, Oasis got to give a shout to Still Fighting It, just with how heartfelt that performance was by Ben Folds. I really enjoyed that. I got to go with also Muse's Starlight. Can't leave that out. And then and JCB as well. I thought, as I mentioned in the reaction, kind of the opposite in some ways of Ben Folds' Still Fighting It tune. Those are some, and even shout out to Morrissey on First of the Gang to Die, which kicked off this list. All in all, man, a really strong representation of alternative rock in the Noughties here, man. Love me some alternative rock. I think me and Richard have a lot of overlapping taste in music, man. So always enjoy listening to the list that you curate, Richard. Be sure to give him some love for putting this list together, and also let me know some of your favorites from this list and some that you would have put on your own personal list that we can also check out. And if you'd like to be a patron and have me react to a top 10 list or even just a song, you can check out our Patreon page, which is linked down below, and will also be on this end screen along with another video you might like to check out here in just a second. But until next time, y'all, thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day or night, and until next time, I will see you.